Welcome back, boils and ghouls, to more reviews from the Crypt. Welcome back to more reviews from the Crypt, kiddies. In tonight's review, we are going to talk about an episode that was requested by my buddy Alex Docious. Mute Witness to Murder. The episode starts, we're at Susie and Paul's anniversary party, where Susie is just out on the balcony reminiscing about the first time they met.
Who happened to be standing in the same exact street corner at the same exact moment in time.
Looks like this party's over, and Paul goes to get Susie's anniversary gift.
I hid it so you wouldn't find it.
Susie's standing alone out on the balcony when she notices two people arguing across the street when this happens. Jam it! If clocking the bitch across the skull wasn't enough, he then does this. Paul then comes back to find Susie, who looks like she just saw a ghost. She's so traumatized by the heinous crime she just witnessed that she can't fucking speak. Paul runs to get a doctor, but when he returns with one, it's that murderous fuck from across the street. It's Dr. Traz, played by Richard Thomas, and he knows that Susie knows what he did. Oh shit. Doctor then pulls out this giant needle, and after a bit of a struggle, old Dr. Traz injects Susie with something that looks like a fucking horse tranquilizer.
Darling, it'll be alright. Whatever it is, it'll be alright.
The doc suggests that they run some tests on her immediately, so then Susie is whisked away to Long Hill. This is where Dr. Traz suggests that Susie stay overnight.
Call me tomorrow, but please go now. Let her rest until tomorrow. This is Trask in room 19. Mr. Hastings is leaving now. Please show him out.
With Paul out of the picture, Dr. Trask can start with his interrogation. But right before the questions, we discover that the doc here has a pretty serious heart condition.
A heart condition. Too much excitement, too much noise, too much talking. Aggravates it terribly.
Then Dr. Traz basically tells Susie that he's Willy Wonka and this is his motherfucking chocolate factory.
A small, private sanatorium, of which I am both director and chairman of the board.
So after a little pep talk,
That is what you get when you intrude so rudely into a neighbor's life.
it's time for horse tranquilizer number 2.
Good night, Susan.
It's the next day when Paul comes to check his wife out of the nut house when Dr. Traz gives him some unfortunate news.
We have no choice but to wait
Wait for what?
until she snaps out of it. It could be tomorrow. Or it could take years.
Back at Susie and Paul's place, Paul is just trying to make sense of everything when his sister raises a pretty good fucking point.
I had never heard of anyone who went from sane to insane in the space of 5 minutes. That just does not happen.
Cut back to Long Hill, and from the looks of it, Susie is just getting worse and worse. This is where Paul starts to question the doctor's practices.
I believe that this is what has happened to your wife.
I don't believe
Yes, Doctor.
Mr. Hastings will be leaving now.
Can't have you getting too close there, Paulie. But Paul's not giving up on his fucking wife.
it. And you'll come back. You'll come home to me.
Paul sets out into the storm to go see his wife and get to the bottom of this shit.
No TV! I want to see Susie in person.
He goes into Susie's room and he's trying to retrace the events of that terrible night. And this is when Susie, without saying a word at all,
You saw something, and that's why you can't talk.
basically tells him that the doctor is up to some sadistic shit.
Was it anyone I know?
Lights go out, and Dr. Trask comes out of nowhere and tranquilizes the shit out of Polly Boy. Only this time it wasn't a sedative, it was fucking poison.
If you weren't about to die.
Then to make sure that Paul's really out of the picture this time for good, he crushes his fucking neck. Shit. This dude's a fucking psycho.
Love. Once again, it complicates everything.
This is where Dr. Traz informs Susie that they must perform a surgery on her.
I've arranged to operate on you. Shall we say, a lobotomy? Of course, you and I both know that you won't survive the surgery.
Yikes. After a scene that's just imploring this man's heart problem even more, it's time for surgery. For some reason, Dr. Idiot Trask lets Susie out of her straitjacket, and this happens. Susie's just a slapping away at his head when Dr. Trask gets the upper hand on her and starts choking the life out of her. When it happens, his evil ass starts to have a heart attack. That's what you get, you murdering fuck! Oh, and guess who forgot their heart pills?
My pills.
He begs Susie to call for help, but remembers that she can't speak.
You can't speak.
But that's not entirely true.
Oh, yes, I can.
Susie then basically watches the murderous piece of shit take his final breath.
You deserve to die.
Murderer.
Then, she gets all up in the camera and informs the staff that the doctor is out.
There's been a horrible accident. Dr. Trask is dead.
Epic. I definitely highly recommend you guys check this one out. It was one of the more serious toned Tales from the Crypt episodes. A lot less campy than most of the episodes were back then. This was one of the ones that was a little more serious and fucking terrifying. I definitely highly recommend you guys check this shit out. I want to go ahead and say thanks again to Alex Docious for recommending this episode, because this was definitely one of the episodes that really stuck with me as a kid, and watching this when I was younger, it really stayed with me. So definitely highly recommend you guys go check it out. Scott86, Tales from the Crypt, Mute Witness to Murder. Go check it out, folks. It's a scream. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Reviews from the Crypt, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Monster Mash.